We are currently in the beautiful Czech Republic and we've been doing our best to stay off-grid and out of epidemic hotspots in major cities. In this episode, we are dealing with wildfires and a state of emergency in the Czech Republic that is forcing us to leave before the borders are closed. What to do? East, south, north, west? We are driving around the world. You guys are invited too, so subscribe and buckle up. It's one heck of a ride. Been at this spot for about 3 days now. Our nearest neighbour is 200 metres away, so it's been a great place to be socially isolated, and I've been trying to fish every single day and I still have not managed to catch me a trout. If anyone knows how to fish, please take me fishing so that I can actually catch a fish. Here, look, we've got a fish. Thank you! Oh, I got a fish! Ugh. It's been a beautiful place, but things are getting real. Basically, the Czech Republic is getting really bad with coronavirus. It's one of the worst places in Europe right now, and cases are spiking. This week they've had more cases than they had in the entire of March at the peak of the pandemic, which is not very reassuring, and I'm sure that's something to do with the fact that they've got their testing down a little bit better than they did in March. However, I don't think that we can stay here very long. There is a meeting happening tomorrow with the Prime Minister considering a new state of emergency in this country, and neighbouring countries are starting to put restrictions on people coming from the Czech Republic. So it is time for us to get out now before we might not be able to. The one question is, where do we want to spend lockdown 2.0? Because at this point, it seems like a second wave of coronavirus is inevitable, and we are smack bang in the middle of Europe. I don't know what to do, but at this point, I really feel that we need to make a decision fast.
The last thing we want is to get caught up in a foreign country's state of emergency again. When that happened to us in North Africa in March 2020, we found ourselves unable to leave Morocco and stuck in a necessary but super strict lockdown for 9 weeks. There, we could only leave the house for a weekly food shop, and that was really tough.
We wish it wasn't necessary to consider the pandemic all of the time, but it's just a reality of travel in 2020. We suppose that borders will remain open this time during the second wave, perhaps with compulsory testing. And if you've undergone an invasive coronavirus test, you'll know that it's not exactly pleasant. So we plan to leave before that is mandatory, just as soon as we put out this damn wildfire. Some people just came past us in a boat and said there's a fire on the riverbank down here. As just started, so must have been the previous campers left the fire somehow. So we're just trying to see if we can do something about it. Evidently, we were not really dressed for firefighting. We had wanted to get the fire out as quick as possible and see if we could control it before it got out of hand. The water bag was basically useless, as it was way too flexible to get water into it. What we needed was a bucket, so Leah ran back to pack up our Kombi and fetch the bucket. In the meantime, the shovel was much more effective at putting out the small flames that were beginning to spread down the bank.
Even though we got the flames out, due to the heat and the plentiful supply of dry grass, the fire continued to reignite itself. So the bucket was necessary to douse the flames. The whole riverbank was connected via dry grass and reeds to a vast and extremely dry forest region. Just to make sure, we thoroughly doused the entire area with water.
We were fortunate that we had access to the river water to sort the situation out, but mostly we're just stoked that we were alerted by the passing boat and that we were able to get here quickly before too much damage was caused. Thanks, mate. That's the guy that went past in the boat, coming back to make sure fire went out and if we see if we needed any help. Good job he told us when he did, because it was getting a bit out of hand. Another casualty, new shoes. Now dead.
Trying to get a fire out with thongs is probably not the best idea.
Okay, now we can leave Czech Republic. It's a shame to be heading out of the beautiful Czech Republic so early and in the wrong direction too. As we're attempting to drive around the world from the Americas to Australia, eastbound would have been our preferred direction. But right now, there are travel restrictions to the east also. So we decided to change direction and head west to the closest border, which was Germany. There is one important matter of business before we leave the Czech Republic. We have to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Surfshark VPN. You guys have a VPN, right?
If you don't know what a VPN is, it is basically, it keeps our data safe when we are on public Wi-Fi, which we are quite a bit.
Yeah, all the time. And it's really great to use the Surfshark VPN one because it basically just sits in the background and we don't have to worry about it, which is the kind of technology that we like. Provides a great service without getting in the way, and we can use it on unlimited devices, which I think might be the only VPN provider that actually allows you to do that, so that's really useful. We use it when we're doing things like internet banking or connecting on public networks that we don't trust, or if we want to access content that's in another country, because the VPN allows us to jump from where we are to appear like our internet connection is coming from another country. It's extremely useful, and if you haven't got a VPN, we can highly recommend Surfshark VPN because we've been using it for over a year. So if you want it, you can get 83% off and 3 months free. That's an offer for our community, so thank you Surfshark for giving us that link to share with you guys, and thank you for sponsoring this video. Now, shall we leave Czech Republic? Maybe a bite to eat first?
Yeah.
I'm pretty hungry. Come on, vamos. Haven't actually been to a restaurant since we've been in Czech Republic. Been trying to keep our distance and eat in our van, but we would like to try a bit of Czech food before we leave, so see if we can find a restaurant.
We have only Czech language.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
What do you recommend? Yeah?
Fried cheese with French fries and mayonnaise.
Fried cheese. That's very Czech, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very traditional.
Beef steak, pork, neck steak, chicken steak.
Does that say tiger?
Yeah.
Tiger in brine. What? Oh, so fast.
Oh, thank you.
No. I'm going to just pick a random thing. The Pesena Veprova zebra. How do you say?
Zebra.
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 Not zebra. Leah's steak, rump steak, was €9.68. Under €10, £8.80 or $11.50 American. I think that's pretty good value. Czech Republic's quite cheap. Zebra?
Zebra.
Děkuji.
Děkuji? Děkuji. That was so hard, Czech. This is our Czech meal.
Full belly, check. Next stop, Germany. Or maybe not.
We didn't quite make it out of the Czech Republic, so we'll try and get out tomorrow morning before the Prime Minister calls a state of emergency and potentially starts closing borders. We want to be out before that happens. But we're going to spend a night in the Czech Republic. Unfortunately, our navigation to the spot where we were intending to sleep didn't work out so well. We've been taken down a route which there's no way that we can possibly fit down. It was actually a little crazy of us even getting this far, as you were about to see. Just to show you what we're working with, that's what we can't get past. There's no way we're going to fit through that. It basically turned into a walking trail. To compound the issue, we now have to reverse out of this extremely narrow road, and our reverse lights have just gone out. So Leo, you're going to go and stand on the back bumper with a head torch on, and bang on the car if I'm going to crash.
Okay.
And bang on the car if you're going to get injured or crushed or something too. I'll go slowly, and we'll try to back out of here and see if we can find another place to camp.
Yeah. There were quite a lot of trees and branches, so I might get smacked in the face a few times.
Yeah, just stay low, okay? And yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
We can sleep here, right?
I think so.
People are going to have such a shock when they come to see us in the morning.
Yeah.
And good night. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do all of these miles that we've been doing recently without taking care of our number one pride and joy, our CB Performance engine. It's not exactly maintenance intensive, but it is a vintage vehicle, so it does require more work than a typical other regular modern car. Good news is it's easier to work on for the most part, apart from when you're trying to fix reverse lights. Apparently on my days this is turning into a procedure. That's our starting battery, And this is our trusty, faithful lithium-ion battery for our studio. Unfortunately, the connections to do with our reverse lights are tied in with our brake lights, which are tied in with our indicator lights, and this whole module here needs to be accessed from the back, and that's really difficult, so I have to remove the batteries. But it's a good opportunity for me to clean up the terminals, because it's been 18 months since these were last cleaned, and they're showing signs of corrosion, so it's time to do that. One massive difference between this Kombi and our previous Kombi is that we take much better care of this. We have a regular maintenance schedule, and I think that's absolutely essential for anybody that's driving a vintage vehicle anywhere, never mind around the world. And so we have a document which tells us what we have to do on the van every 3,000, 6,000, 9,000, 15,000, 20,000, up to 50,000 kilometers or miles. The great thing about that is we can just relax and not worry about maintenance for the most part, unless something breaks, which it doesn't, because we're looking after this Kombi. So every 3,000 miles or 5,000 kilometers, we do the next set of jobs that we have to do. And for the most part, so far, it's been trouble-free motoring. I know not all of you drive vintage vehicles, but some of you do. Some of you have got buses and vanagons and stuff. So if you want to see our maintenance document, we'll make it available for you. I'll link it below. We've just put it up to the Kombi crew, but I'll make it public for everybody to be able to get. So you can see what it takes to drive a vintage vehicle around the world, and perhaps improve your own maintenance schedule so you don't get left stranded on the side of the road. Now back to these lights. Back when we were driving from South America to Alaska, I removed and rebuilt my engine 10 times on that one road trip. For sure, side of the road breakdowns will come on this adventure too, and undoubtedly more frequently as we push this Kombi further into the east. Right now though, I'm doing everything I can to make sure that we get there, because we sure have a long road ahead. Back on the road, we made it to the eastern border of Germany without any trouble. We got out just before the Czech Republic declared a state of emergency, and before Germany imposed a mandatory 14-day quarantine on arrivals from the country. So as sad as we were to leave so quickly, we were relieved that we left when we did. On our next pit stop, we're meeting up with some ex-Kombi Life travellers who 8 years earlier shared some of the hardest times with us in South America.
Good to see you, man.
And we're also hitting the Autobahn to take advantage of the unlimited speed highways in Germany. We are going to find out just how fast this Kombi will go.
We're doing like our top speed and they're still flying past us.
But that is a story for next time.